first one we're going to talk about is the Doggetot. So why do you like the Doggetot?
So I find that we don't always stay in the same room, and when you want your newborn with you, sometimes you just need a space for them to lounge. That's cozy. Our newborn really likes to be held, but when you need a little break and they want to lie down but still feel like they're in an enclosed space, the Doggetot is nice because it kind of wraps around their body, and it's really soft material, but the only thing you have to be mindful of, per our pediatrician recommendation, you want to always be awake when they're in it. It's not recommended that you nap while they nap in here, just because of the suffocation hazard around here if they turn their head and they're against the siding. But I feel like our baby just feels more comfortable in this versus the bassinet sometimes, because this is smaller. It's just something cozy. Like if you imagine you're in a bed made out of pillows, that's what this feels like.
One other thing that's nice, as you can see, there are stains in it, depending on if you're using formula. Formula does tend to kind of stain the material. You can take the zipper, take it all off, and throw it in the wash. It's pretty simple. My only thing that I really wish that, I think they sell it in Europe but not here in the States, is instead of having it be this kind of like non-breathable material per se, I wish that they had it so that air can pass through, so you don't have to worry about like the suffocation risk, because that is kind of like the little bit of a drawback. If you're gonna like co-sleep, you don't want to co-sleep with this, even though you're not even really supposed to be co-sleeping at all. They do make other kind of like breathable bassinets that you can put on your bed. That would be better. We have one of those as well, just because sometimes he doesn't like to use his snoo. But overall, if you just want something where, like, say you're gonna be eating lunch or something on the table, you put him in front, you can eat, you can watch, and you can make sure that he's breathing or she's breathing just fine.
It's a comfortable place that gives you a break where baby can lounge. It's a lounger, so just something to put them down in temporarily. So this is our diaper bag, and basically everything we're showing are things we typically bring when we go visit the in-laws. So pretty much this is used very frequently. And what I love about this bag is the price point. I feel like for the color and style, it's a nice neutral color and it wears like a backpack, but you can also, it has the strap that you can put onto your stroller. And then there's a zipper on the back for easy to reach items. So for me, it's a burp cloth if you don't want to open the main compartment. And side pockets. This one has an insert so you can reach in easily for something that you need right away. What's also nice and essential as a newborn parent on the go, insulation. So I usually put an ice pack in the zipper and then bottles here. And within the bag, you have a lot of compartment space. So we don't normally completely overstuff it. We're just gonna review some items, but just to show you, it really holds a lot. There are 4 pockets in here on the side, so you can put, we have mittens, we can put the thermometer, just really anything you need will fit in here. We put a lot in. We put diapers, burp cloths, extra milk, really everything you need on the go. So what are things we take on the go? Let's start with bibs. So I really like these because sometimes the burp cloths, they're nice for you, but if the milk, whenever you feed a newborn, sometimes they do have spit up. So you can just put the burp cloth around them directly and that will catch anything in front. So it kind of protects them a little bit more of their clothes. And then you can just easily use it to wipe their mouth or their neck area. Avoid that neck cheese, if you know what I mean.
The amount of projectile that newborns have is insane. So the more you can kind of cover everything, themselves included, the better. These are easy to wash. They have multiple buttons, so depending on
how big, adjustable.
And how big the neck is of your newborn, or as they grow, you can loosen it or tighten it.
And it's a nice soft fleece material on the back. The front is like a nice cotton material and it's organic cotton.
And these ones are by Hitty Stars. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Hitty Star.
And I chose a fruit theme, but there's a lot of different prints. This is another fruit themed burp cloth. I really like these because it's a nice size. It's a little bigger than a washcloth, but it can still drape over your shoulder. You can use it for many different things, but we use it for burping, wiping the mouth, just really anything.
This is probably the smallest I would go in terms of like something throwing over your shoulder.
Yeah.
A lot of times, depending on if your baby spits up a lot, is a happy spitter. You know, I almost wish it was like bigger just to be able to cover because all my clothes are
So we do
stained.
have the small ones, but for
Yeah,
burping, I wouldn't really recommend these, but these are really nice and soft still for just clean up easy spills around their mouth, but not for burping.
Yeah.
Oh, the wet dry bag. So I just happened to throw it in. I was thinking more for dirty diapers, dirty clothes, which is what they're used for. But it was nice because our pediatrician office, the first time we went, they don't allow you to throw dirty diapers in their trash can. So I was really glad I had this. So I put his dirty diapers in here. Easily washable, cute print, has 2 zipper compartments. So it can hold quite a lot of dirty stuff, but it's kind of like a nylon material.
And you just throw this in the wash,
Yeah.
hopefully. It's not
Yeah.
stinky.
Essential. Extra clothes. So we learned really fast that you go through a lot of dirty diapers. So I always have at least 1 or 2 extra onesies. One that we really like is a magnetic me. So it's just very convenient. You just open it up and then you don't have to worry about zippers or anything. It goes all the way down. So you know the late night feedings, you can just easily go down on the feet and then you don't have to worry about zippers or buttons or anything annoying.
This is definitely my favorite for the design print and the softness. Bamboo ones, this one's not bamboo, but if you've tried some of the bamboo onesies, those feel really
Similar.
nice. It's very similar to that.
Like a Modal.
Yeah, this one is a newborn 5 to 8 pounds. The only problem with that is, or any newborn size, is you only get a couple weeks. You know, so our kid's 6 weeks and he's already in the 0 to 3s.
I would say though, this is bigger than most newborn sizes. It has a nice stretch. So even though we outgrew other newborn brands, I feel like this newborn size lasted the longest of all the newborn clothes we had. And
They're a little bit pricier, but I mean for the convenience, sometimes that's nice. But I don't think we don't have a ton of these just because they're so expensive and they grow so fast. But if you had to get one, you know, I'd probably get a 0 to 3 size and enjoy it for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I agree. And they have the fold over mittens. So
That's clutch though.
a very good thing, yeah.
Especially,
Protect their face.
yeah, because they scratch themselves and they like, poke their eyes and things like that. So whatever you can do to nullify their nails outside of cutting it, the better.
Mhm. I don't know if this is normal, but I keep a thermometer just because if you notice they're getting sick or anything, I just want to make sure they don't break out into a fever. And if they do, that's a sign you should contact your doctor.
So this one's by Braun.
It's light and small enough to fit.
I'm gonna actually show it to you real quick.
It fits in the large component of
Just press the
diaper bag.
power button here, and then you have this button allows you to tell you if it's a 0 to 3, 3 to 36, and 36 plus.
Oh yeah, it's for all the way infants through adults, so
Right.
you can use it for yourself too.
And then when you want to, it has this little plastic sanitary guard, and then you just press this thermometer button.
It
and
comes
put
with
it
a few of the plastic pieces.
97.7. So it's very fast, very simple, very convenient.
Very easy, just something you should have just for anyone in your family, because if you get sick, you don't want to have to run to the pharmacy in the middle of the night to get a temperature check, because you just always want to make sure their temperature is okay if they're starting to get sick. I guess we can go through wipes and diapers. We'll go through the wipes. We only have 2 to review for today, but water wipes, and we have Pampers sensitive wipes. So, what is your opinion of each of them?
I think what's insane is for how many diaper changes that you do change for a kid per day, and then how many times you have to wipe them. And over the first few days, they're fine, and then depending like how many times they're going to the bathroom, you start to get irritated, and I think that's the thing that's annoying with like standard wipes is we saw that our kid got irritated quite like
Diaper rash.
yeah, diaper rash. You just feel sad because see the redness down there. So I think the water wipes, when we switched to the water wipes, it definitely helped quite a bit. I think it's less irritating. One thing that we do that's been very beneficial as well is just washing them in the sink. And just using water and a little water and a little bit of some baby soap if needed, depending on how bad they're doing. But otherwise, the water wipes or these sensitive ones have been pretty decent.
Yeah, I'd say the water wipes are probably the most popular among my friends, and that was recommended to me the most. The Pampers Sensitive, I feel like he didn't really break out, but just the more wipes we did use before we started cleaning him in the sink more, he did break out more from the sensitive wipes versus the water wipes.
Yeah, and one thing that our pediatrician told us to do as well is to limit how much we're wiping. So it's like really save the wipes for when they go number 2. But if they're going number 1, a lot of times you can get away with just changing the diaper. The urine is sanitary, so instead of aggravating different areas, you can kind of limit that exposure to any extra chemicals. But if you can, just like rinse them during the water and then dry them off. And that really got rid of a lot of the diaper rash anyways.
So I feel like diapering, it might just be our luck, but I feel like we've had pretty good luck with all diaper brands we use. Once we figured out the ruffles go out. So at first we were like, why is he wetting himself so frequently? Why is it leaking so much? But then once we started pulling out the ruffles, we were new parents. So.
Yeah, we definitely knew mistakes on that one, but these ruffles need to go on the outside. I don't really have a preference on diapers per se. I think they all work pretty well.
The difference.
This is the Pampers, right? This one.
Mm-hmm. So they're both Pampers. This Pampers Pure, that's Pampers Swaddlers. Swaddlers are the most popular. I feel like my friends recommended those the most, and our hospital provided the Swaddlers.
Yeah, so we've tried Pampers Swaddlers, the Pures, the Huggies. I don't know which was the Huggies.
Oh, Huggies,
I don't remember the name of it. We tried Huggies, they've worked pretty well. And then the Millie Moon.
Yeah.
These ones, I think, are the most unique in terms of shape. Like, they really kind of are wider.
Yeah.
These ones, all the other ones kind of have a little bit more of a contour fit, but, I mean, none of them really leak. I think we've had one blowout per diaper.
Yeah.
Brand, per se.
They've all been successful.
But they all usually work as long as you do the hack of pulling out the ruffles.
So I think for the price point, if for us they're about the same performance-wise, I would say the Swaddlers are the cheaper compared to the Pampers Pure. So I would go with that to save money.
Like sometimes your infant's going to have stomach issues, depending, and there's a lot of different things that you can try. There's gas drops, there's gripe water. One of the ladies that we follow on YouTube recommends this BioGaia. It's like a probiotic. You do.
And our pediatrician was fine with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like 5 drops per day. You just put it into a bottle. You shake this up really well. It just has 100 million CFUs of L-reiteri something. Some probiotic for infants to reduce colic. What are your thoughts on this?
I felt like, I don't think it personally worked for us. I think the reviews were great, so we were very hopeful, but I think it might have been just early on too, because we used it week 2. Yeah, we started using it week 2. So at that point, their digestive system is still growing and still trying to acclimate. I feel like he spit up even more while using it, but I think there is like a window.
I also think there was a lot of factors in terms of things that we are learning as parents. The stomach is pretty small, the kid wants to eat a lot, but sometimes the eating is hidden or masking some other issue. Maybe it's like they feel gas, but they just want to suckle on something.
Yeah.
So you might then feed them a little bit too much. So it's kind of hard to know. I think there's a lot of variables at play. If you do have a baby who is, crying a lot and the gas drops and the gripe water aren't working, then I would say try this.
Yeah. I feel like if you're gonna try one, this brand is the most popular, and then just make sure it's okay with your pediatrician because every baby's different. So always consult the doctor first.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my LV pump. So I just keep it in a plastic bag, Ziploc bag, to separate it from everything else, keep everything organized. So what I love about this pump is its portability. So you could have this when you're driving, or if you're in the car, just on the go, if you feel comfortable being out in public. It's just nice because it's portable. You're not attached to any wall, any big machine. So for any moms who are pumping, I find that I reach for this a lot more than I thought. I also used this a lot before I gave birth. So when I was trying to express more colostrum before my milk came in fully, I would use this, and it was cleared by my OB. So just make sure you clear with your OB before you start pumping before birth. But yeah, I feel like it's very easy to learn how to use, and a lot of times for road trips, I use it in the car, because if you're gonna be pumping every 2 to 3 hours, you don't always have time or the capacity to use one of the bigger hospital grade pumps. So these will definitely do the job. I believe they sell them in singles or pairs. So when I do travel with the diaper bag, I actually only bring one. So if you're trying to cut costs at all, I think one is actually sufficient, and you can just always buy multiple milk storage containers. And I like that Amazon, you do have to replace pump parts every few months because they wear out. So they do sell the replacement parts individually. One thing I also got from Amazon in particular that didn't come with the LV kit are the nipple inserts. So not everyone fits the universal sizing of the shield. And that's really, I think, the most crucial thing about pumping. You want to make sure you have the right flange size or shield size. And that's so you can express the most amount of milk possible to maximize your supply. I've been lucky to have a decent supply so far, but I will say I had to get the nipple insert to really maximize the amount of milk that comes out. And this one was the 21 millimeter. They also sell nipple rulers, so there's resources online to know how to measure what nipple size you are. And if you don't fit the universal size, these are a really cheap, effective way to maximize your milk supply. So I just bought this off Amazon and I put it in here, and my amount of milk just increased because I was able to express more because it's a better fit.
The nice thing about this as well is that it charges with like a universal USB.
Oh yeah.
Which is nice.
Actually, I think you have to use,
Yeah, right there. Just a USB-B, I believe.
Yeah, it comes with the charger too, but yeah, you can use a different charger. It's pretty convenient. Yeah, I feel like I reach for this really often because I don't lug the big pump with me when I'm in the car or anything. So
you should say what
I
happens
really
like the
love
day
LV.
that this didn't work or it ran out of battery, like, and we're out.
Oh, yeah, just always make sure the one you bring with you is charged, because for some reason I have two, and the one I brought in the diaper bag wasn't charged, and then I became engorged, and then I got it clogged up. So if you want to be careful and bring two to make sure one's charged, but just always make sure you bring it charged, obviously.
You should actually just go in, for those who don't know, like, what do you do when you have a clogged duct? How do you fix it?
Oh, well, there's plenty of things. The first thing I do is I pump. So that's the biggest thing. This helps prevent clogged ducts, because if I'm on the go and before I go home, if I'm not going to be home for a while, then I just use this. So it gets the milk out, and then that way you're not so engorged or clogged. If you already get past that point, which has happened to me a ton, You want to pump as soon as you can. Hot showers, breast massage. If you're able to nurse, if it's not too painful, your baby can help, or even your husband, they recommend. But whatever really gets the milk out. So they make also breast massages, massagers, but really whatever gets the milk out. And then to treat the symptoms in the meantime, you can take Advil, use a heat pack. But really, it's really uncomfortable. I've been there. So
The baby seems to be the best at pulling the clogged ducts
Yeah.
out though.
if you can tolerate it, like sometimes I can't, but when you're able to tolerate the baby nursing, that's really the best way. Because sometimes the pump, once it's clogged, the milk won't come out as much, in my experience. But yeah, this is also a lifesaver to prevent clogged ducts. So I really would recommend this portable pump because it's a lifesaver.
Perfect.
And definitely get the insert if you're not the universal size. Oh wait, I forgot. In relation to the pump, the nipple cream, I do have a travel size on the go. I feel like Lancino is the most popular brand. The hospital gave me Lancino brand, but it's just lanolin nipple cream to keep everything comfortable. But yeah, this will prevent a lot of chafing and discomfort. Oh yeah, so this is my primary pump. So as much as I do reach for the portable LV, you do want a hospital grade one because that will really get the most milk out. So this one is probably the one that was recommended to me the most. It's the Spectra, I believe S2. It's the newer model where it's portable, so you don't need to be plugged into the wall. The charger's here, but it works uncharged. I mean, it works away from the charger. And then it's just pretty easy. You have buttons here to alter the cycle and the vacuum. It has a nice light feature, so at nighttime, if you need that, it's there. It has a compartment for your drink, because part of breastfeeding, to keep your supply up, you really want to stay hydrated, so it's a nice compartment for you to put something there. What I like is at Amazon, they also sell replacement parts, like for the LV. So you have right here, they sell all the replacements that you need if you ever, I don't even know what they're called, the valves, but
No, they're actually just like a silicone diaphragm. So they go back and forth, but sometimes they'll get
But they
bigger.
wear out because it depends how much you pump, but you're gonna have to replace them eventually. They should last at least 2-3 months, but it really depends how often you pump. I haven't had to replace them yet, and I've been pumping for like a month and a half, but I'm getting close. Can you hand me that?
Listen.
Yeah. So these are. So this all comes with the Spectra kit. So it comes with the actual pump, the tubes, and then 2 of these that you pump into. And the flange, that is really the key. Ladies, you want to make sure it's the right size. So just like the nipple insert, you can change the size of the flange, and that will play a key role into how much milk you express. I bought the 21 millimeter off Amazon. The standard that the Spectra comes with is 24 and 28, but if you are smaller or larger, then you should really get the size that is most appropriate for you, so that you can really get the most bang for your buck. 'Cause if you're gonna be spending all that time pumping every 2-3 hours, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, then you wanna do it the most efficiently as possible, because you want to get as much sleep as you can. So I like that Amazon, they sell replacement parts, but also different size flanges. So you can test out which one works best for you. And then they also sell replacement of the duck bill valve. Funny name.
Yeah, and all you have to do is like this here, and then it starts pulling the vacuum.
Yep.
Good to go.
Pretty intuitive. I don't know why I was kind of nervous about the pumping process, but I was able to read the manual like one time and then get it. So if you have any more questions about pumping, I really found value in lactation consultants. So I actually spoke to some before I gave birth and then after I gave birth in the hospital. They had some in the hospital as a good resource. And then at my pediatrician's office, they had lactation consultants in-house too. So the resources are out there. Check out YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, but I feel like the in-person consultations help the most because they can see how your baby's latching and just give you direct feedback. And it was very helpful. I feel like I was really nervous about the breastfeeding journey, but they made me feel a lot more at ease and a lot more confident. And it's helpful also for pain prevention because it's not the most comfortable process, but if you find the right lactation consultant, they can really direct you to how to do it the most comfortably. Because it shouldn't really hurt.
What was your biggest takeaway from the lactation consultant?
I'd say the direct feedback about how our son was latching, because if you get too shallow of a latch, so there's a difference between fore milk and hind milk. You really want them to get the hind milk a lot of times, from what I've been told, because it'll keep them full and satiated longer. But with the fore milk, if their latch is too shallow, then that's gonna really affect the type of milk that they are getting. I'm not a professional, but that's just, I feel like the most helpful advice. So just adjusting how he was latching, and that can affect how he's satiated the length of time. Yeah. These are just items for fun, but since it's really sunny in SoCal, we have newborn sunny. I feel like these are actually really big. I feel like maybe 3 months plus is a good size, but it's still a little large for her son, but it's really cute. And a hat, a cute little hat.
We actually got to test this out. We took him to the beach for the first time, so he got to see the ocean.
I like that it's adjustable and it provided a lot of sun protection with the front, the ears, and the back. And then you can just tie it on. Comes in a lot of fun colors, and it stayed on even though it was really windy. So these are not diaper bag essentials, but when we go on road trips, we just like to have something to entertain him. And Amazon, I feel like, has a lot of good educational toys and resources.
Yeah, and since he's only 6 weeks, he can't really do too much. I mean, we can read to him, we can play different audiobooks, but right now we also just show him these visual stimulation cards. Apparently they can see up to, I think, 15 inches or so, and they see black and white, so something that you can give them shapes and then kind of talk to them about it is very helpful. And even though you might not feel like it's doing much, it just feels good to be kind of working with them as parents to kind of try to give them the next best step.
Yeah.
Give a good foundation. So this is.
And I like how portable it is. It's just easy to throw in your suitcase, or if you wanted to put it in your diaper bag or keep one in your car. This came in a pack of, I think, like 6 or 8 other cards, pack of cards. Each one has a different theme, so it was just nice. You can put one in every car or different bag and just take it with you on the go. Okay, so other road trip essentials. I guess we'll start with the car seat.
Yep.
So this is the updated model of the Kiko KeyFit 30, which I feel is one of the most popular car seats from what I've read, research, and I went into a deep dive of car seat research, but my friend, Kiko is like one of the classic safe brands, kind of like a Subaru. The price point is good, but you get a lot of bang for your buck. And I read just ratings for safety. Kiko is high on the list. So they updated from the KeyFit 30 to this model, which is the KeyFit 35. So what's nice is that you can keep it for your baby longer because it accommodates kind of a longer height, taller height, and a longer length. And you can actually use it without a car seat base. So right now we have the base in our car, but just to show you the car seat itself, it's just a standard nice size car seat. It's not one of the fancier, lighter ones, so
It's definitely not light.
yeah. I feel like it's about 9 pounds just on its own. So just keep that in mind. With the weight of your baby, you'll get a very good arm workout. But for us, we're looking for safety at a reasonable price point and a good workout. So this hits all those. It comes, this Key Fit 35 model has clear text fabric. It just makes it's just a more natural fabric, but also more flame retardant, I believe. And then the newborn insert that it comes with, all of this is washable. So the newborn insert is up to 11 pounds. He's gonna outgrow that.
Yeah, he's almost
soon.
out of this. We gotta take it out.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna outgrow that soon, if not already. But it's all washable, and then once they outgrow the newborn insert, you can take it out and then use the regular part of the car seat.
It's pretty easy to put it on. You just push this button and then you can pull these out so you can get it around his arms. You just click it in, and then there's this other piece right here that you click together. Overall, you just push these guys together and you can push this back. And then it has a sun protector screen.
Yeah.
If you're not using your base, like what, you can just, right here is where you can slide in the seat buckle, or the, yeah, what do you call it?
Seat
Safety belt? Yeah, seat belt. And yeah, it's pretty easy, works pretty well. Oh, we've been looking for that. You'll find things all the time.
Yeah, and the nice part is that everything's washable, but also as a new mom, I was kind of nervous using it by myself, but it was very intuitive, to be honest, so I like that.
Yeah, there's just like a little button handle right here. So when you click it into the car, it just clicks, and then when you want to take it out, you just pull, and it comes right out.
Everything you need to handle is in orange, which I just noticed. Like all the buttons, it's one color, so just very straightforward. Before I gave birth, I was reading so much about different bottles. I just noticed with the baby industry, there's millions of choices for every item, and it was a little overwhelming, but it was helpful to have feedback from other moms. So as if you're a new mom or a soon to be new mom, if you have any questions, let me know. I feel like I've learned a lot from all this research and then actually applying the knowledge that I've gained. But nipples vary a lot between different bottle brands, and you won't really know which one your baby needs until they're here. So fortunately for us, I don't feel like our baby has had nipple confusion between my breast and any of the brands we've tried, and that is just because he's like a fiend when it comes to eating.
Always hungry.
He's just always hungry, so he doesn't care where or who the source is. He'll just latch and eat. But I've heard from different moms that's not always the case. So Amazon, they have a nice variety of different brands. We have Komotomo, the Even Flow glass bottle, and then the Lancino. So as you can see, they're all different nipple shapes. From what I've researched, Komotomo is very popular, I feel like, for the style, and it's a nice squeezable silicone material, and it's obviously just very aesthetic, but the nipple itself was not one of the ones that was recommended that mimics a real nipple. Our baby doesn't have issues latching on, and what I actually like the most is that the area, the circumference is very wide. So we've had to use formula recently because our baby has prolonged jaundice, so formula is one of the treatments, and I like that you can scoop the formula in here without it spilling and creating a mess. So I feel like it's the widest circumference of all the bottles we've had, so I find myself actually reaching the most for this. But if your baby for some reason doesn't like that nipple, something to keep in mind, it's not actually one of the, from what I've read, not the most recommended based on that shape. But if your baby doesn't have any trouble latching, it's worth getting because I really like the area.
It's also easy to clean.
Yeah, because you don't need one of those bottle brushes necessarily because it's a really wide circumference. Glass bottles. So you wanted glass.
Mm-hmm.
Do you wanna? Was there a reason you wanted glass?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of buy into the whole like less plastic the better. There's been kind of like a movement outside of the baby industry where people say, don't use the microwave with plastic. The plastic, even though it might be BPA free, it will still kind of like degrade and leach into your food. So anytime you can go glass or stainless steel, it's probably for the better. Right? You want to stay away from aluminum. So for me, like I'm a big fan of glass, Tupperware, Pyrex, and then naturally I was like, well, we should probably have some glass bottles, depending.
I was nervous about dropping it, but I read the reviews and I don't know, the Amazon reviews, they kind of reassured me.
We have dropped it, and it's been fine.
Yeah.
Not that big a deal.
I feel like we've only dropped it once, and then I did have to throw it away because it did kind of chip. You just want to be safe. But I feel like we use this the second most.
Yeah, I would say it's probably tied with this one in terms of my favorite. I do think he likes the nipple the best on this one. I think it's a standard nipple. It's very common. The only thing that I don't like that much about this is it's basically when you are making formula, that inner circumference is the same as the scooper.
Yeah.
So you have to be
a little
very careful.
messy.
Yeah, you can spill a lot more on this one.
But when I do use breast milk, if I'm just pouring the milk from the pump bottle, then it's fine. It's easy.
And I like that it has a shaker cap, so that really does make it easy to
If you do use
shake.
formula, you just shake it, and then the cap kind of keeps everything in there.
Then the last one is this one.
So the Lancino, honestly, this is probably the most popular brand recommended to me for my friends, in addition to Komotomo. But Lancino, I feel like it's very well received by a lot of moms I've talked to. Personally, and then the nipple shape is actually, it was one of the highly recommended ones because it mimics a nipple, a human nipple. But our baby, I feel like, has a lot of drool when he uses it.
A lot of drool with this one.
I don't know, the way he latches on. It doesn't really bother him, but we just noticed we have to wipe him a lot more. So honestly, the circumference of the bottle is a nice size, but just personally with our baby, it wasn't a great fit. He drank from it, like he uses it. It's just our comfort more.
Yeah, if I had to rank them, it'd probably be in this one, then this one, then that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, they all work.
But a lot of my friends, I feel like most of my friends, they like Lancino, but just personal preference. And you won't really know until your baby's here and you get to trial it, and maybe that will evolve too based on their needs. But for now, at 6 weeks, we go for Komotomo or the Evoflow glass bottle the most, I feel like.
I think once you know that you're gonna have to start using the bottle, just get a bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
And start experimenting.
I think Dr. Brown's is the most common one from the hospital.
The anti-colic one?
Yeah, but
Really? That one's the most popular?
that brand, Dr. Brown's, yeah. But
Wow.
yeah, we don't find ourselves reaching for it the most. But Amazon, they have a nice variety of brands, which is nice. So you can add them all to your registry and then just try them all out. Oh yeah, so this, going along with all the pumping supplies, milk storage bags. So the Lancino brand, they also make milk storage bags, and Medela, they have their own brand of pump. They actually make an attachment where you can pump directly in the storage bag nowadays. I haven't personally used that method, but I really like the Medela storage bag the most. I feel like compared to the Lancino bags, it's just sturdier. This is a nice pack of 100. I initially started with a Lancino pack of 50 and Medela pack of 50 to compare. They're both usable and they both get the job done, but I find myself reaching for the Medela more. So when I reordered, I only reordered the Medela. But it's pretty simple to use. You just tear it off, write the date, because when you store it, it's good for in the freezer up to 6 months, I believe, and a deep freezer up to a year. But you just want to write the amount. I always wondered why you write the amount, because they have the measuring units here. But I noticed that once you pour it in, it's not really accurate because you have all this space on the bottom. So once it's filled, the amount that is shown on the bottle, like if I pump 4 ounces and I put 4 ounces in the
Of frozen breast milk.
Right now, that's pretty much the majority of what's in the freezer. But oh yeah, this is actually a diaper bag essential that we do reach for a lot. This is a changing pad. So I feel like when we go to the doctor's office, sometimes we have unexpected blood tests, or if we need to lie our baby down. It's not always the most comfortable surface, so I really like this one because it's kind of like a velvety, soft material. It's not super padded, but it's comfortable and soft. So I feel like he's comfortable on it more so than a lot of the other changing surfaces where it's just hard plastic or it's like that butcher paper material. And this is nice because it has, when you open it up, you can just put wipes here, you can store things in the zipper pocket, and it's a nice size, so it'll hold kind of a longer baby, and then obviously the width is a nice size. So, and it folds up really easily, very portable, fits in the diaper bag just fine. If you want some, I know some moms, they don't want a diaper bag because it's very bulky or you don't need that much stuff. You can even just carry this around and then put all your essentials in here. There's another zipper on the outside pocket, and it has a wrist strap. So if you're one of those cool, easy moms and that's all you need, then this has a lot.
How many diapers can you store in that thing?
I feel like at 3. It depends how thick you want it, but the most I would put is 3, but it's kind of like a quick clutch on the go.